Give us more perspective on the charges. Attorney and legal analyst Dina Dahl, as well as prop master and armorer Dutch Merrick. Dutch and Dina, thank you both for being with us. Dina, let's start with you. Baldwin has been pretty public about his side, but these charges that will be coming suggest otherwise. What are the chances that this ultimately goes to trial?
I mean, I think it's likely. They still have to have a preliminary hearing where they will have to convince a judge that they have probable cause, enough evidence, basically, to move forward to trial. That will be a mini trial, and we'll get to see much more of what the prosecution evidence is against him, as well as Alec Baldwin and both of their defenses. So if for some reason they can't get the probable cause, then they won't move to trial. Or if either of them take a plea deal, which both of them through their lawyers make it sound like they're going to be fighting this.
So Dina, is there a world in which Baldwin could ultimately end up potentially behind bars in prison?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there are two involuntary charges that he is facing. One of them, they have actually added a firearm enhancement, which would carry a mandatory sentence of 5 years in prison. An involuntary manslaughter charge alone is 18 months. So this firearm enhancement makes it actually quite an aggressive charge by the prosecution.
All right, Dutch, let's kick it over to you. You know, Baldwin has insisted publicly that he never actually pulled the trigger. But as an armorer, does that make sense in this scenario? Because either he did or did not pull it, or is there another possible scenario?
Well, the FBI report showed that the firearm was functioning as designed. So I think that's established. The thing was designed so that if you did pull the hammer almost all the way back, as he claims, but not completely into full cock position, and you let it go, it would stop at the half cock point. So there's three different marks. There's a quarter, half, and a full cock where it will stop. So when we look at the video of the rehearsal that happened before lunch, he pulls the gun out and he has his finger on the trigger in that rehearsal. That leads one to believe he likely had his finger on the trigger and maybe doesn't remember. But that gun should not have been able to fire without a finger on the trigger, moving all the stops, freeing that hammer from hitting the primer and firing that round.
So, Dina, I want to talk to you about Baldwin's public comments. You know, he's certainly given, interviews up to this point. I mean, does that hurt or help him, do you think?
I think to your point that you just discussed, probably the one statement that will hurt him is his assertion that he didn't pull the trigger. We have the FBI investigation say that it was conclusive that it pulled the trigger. They might have the battle of experts if they go to trial. But essentially, he seemed to be admitting there that he shouldn't have pulled the trigger, right? And if they can show that he did indeed point the gun and pull the trigger, that seems to rise to the level of negligence, which is what they need to show here, that he was criminally negligent in part by pointing the gun and pulling a trigger.
All right, so Dutch, I go back to you. I mean, you are an armorer, you are a prop master. A lot of this, is really about blame. At the end of the day, in this type of setting, on a movie set, who holds the responsibility?
This was a chain of events, and so many people have a piece of this pie that they're responsible for. In the workshops that I conduct with film professionals, we discuss the Rust tragedy at length. We point out 35 different failings. And in the end, I ask the participants in the workshop, okay, with all these failings and all these hands, who's responsible? And we pull out the dry erase board and we write out, and usually they get to about 10 different names. And that's all the way from the producer at the top in their hiring to the guy that supplied the actual live rounds to the set, all the way down through the prop master, the armorer, the first AD who inserted himself in the process between the armorer and the actor. Unheard of, really unconscionable. So it doesn't all lie on Alec Baldwin's shoulders or even him and the armor. There's a lot of people it took to have failings all along the food chain to get to this fatality.
Dutch, last question. Is this the end of Baldwin's career, regardless of what ultimately happens?
No, I really don't think so. I think he's well established as an actor and really well liked. And as bad as this was to his reputation, I think in the long run, he'll still be popular with a lot of people.
All right, we will certainly see. All right, Dutch and Dina, we thank you both.
Thank you.
Well, the Supreme Court has still not